as long as they can all stay healthy. But that's such a weird thing to say when you talk about football. As long as they stay healthy, that's every team. I should probably stop saying that. Welcome back to our Power Rankings, Week 2 NFL. Here we do our rankings in 4 divisions. The bird/horses. We have the warrior class humans, the working class humans, and the mammals. Let's get going. First up, we're going to start with the bird/horses. Now, a lot has moved given this first week. A lot has happened. It was a crazy week, a wild week, a spicy week. Yeah, a lot of crazy things happened, a lot of upsets. So we're going to have to make sure that these are appropriately placed. Now, last week at number 8, we had the Cardinals, and they lost, and I still think they're tanking, so we're going to keep them at number 8. Number 7 last week was the Falcons. However, they won. So, in their place, it's going to have to be the Seahawks. They didn't look too good. At number 6, we had the Colts. They're going to stay even. I think they did about as well as I kind of expected they were going to. Nothing special came out of them, so they'll be staying at number 6. Also remaining in the same spot at number 5 is the Broncos. Now, they lost, and they had 16 points. So they really didn't look that good. I'm wondering if I have them a little too high on this list still. Maybe the Colts should be ahead of them, but I don't really think the Colts are any better. I kind of think that they're worse. Russell Wilson's still not looking that good. Sean Payton, I think, is going to be a good answer for the Broncos. It was week 1. They looked really kind of the same, the Broncos that we saw all last year. So hopefully for their sake, they can get some shit together, but I don't know. Number 5. Number 4, last week we had the Seahawks, but we put them down a bit. I'm going to have to put the Falcons here because, well, they won. That's the only reason that the Falcons are moving up. They won. So they're at number 4 for the birds and horses. Now we've got the top 3 teams that actually looked good and did well. At number 3, we have the Ravens in the same spot that they were before. Now, this might be the highest they get because they got a lot of injuries in their week 1 matchup. A little bit of a bloodbath for them. Really unfortunate if you're a Ravens fan. Not so unfortunate if you're a Bengals or Browns fan. But, yeah, they got beat up. So, yeah, they're going to be at number 3 now. I don't know how they're going to do going forward. We'll see. I got to check a little bit more into the injury report myself. Haven't had that much time this week yet. So at number 2, last week I had the Jets. This week, I'm going to put the Eagles at number 2. Yeah. Honestly, the Eagles should probably be at number 1 given everything. Aaron Rodgers went out for the Jets. Real early on, season-ending injury. That's unfortunate. The Eagles looked pretty good. They had a good win. They looked like the Eagles of last year. That's kind of why they're at number 2 because, it's kind of the same status quo, still a good spot. But I had to give the number 1 spot to the Jets because they did have a triumphant win against the Bills. Now, the offense for the Jets looked pretty bad. Zach Wilson looked a lot like Zach Wilson. The defense gave them every opportunity in the world to win the game, and special teams for that matter. And they did win the game because of that. The offense didn't do really any help for them. And I think that that's going to be how it goes, much like last year. Their defense was awesome. Their offense lacked. They're not going to have Aaron Rodgers, and Wilson is not the answer. So I'm going to let them have number 1 for this week, though, because they beat a good Buffalo team, though they did have a lot of help from Josh Allen throwing interceptions and turning over the ball. So the Bills did make it easy on them, but I'm going to let them have number 1 for this week. They lost their quarterback that was supposed to be the answer. Give the Jets a break, guys. We have the Mammals. That's right. All right, with the Mammals, last week at number 8, I had the Panthers. Now, they did wind up losing, but they looked better than I kind of thought they would. I think they have a lot to get right, but quite frankly, I think they have a little bit of promise for this year. So I'm putting the Bears in last place. Listen, Bears fan. Bears singular fan. You are not allowed to talk that much trash to a very specific team and then just get beat down. It's not allowed. You get put at last place in the Mammals division when you do that. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. And don't worry, I don't have the Bengals very high on this list either. So, yeah. Bears, number 8. In number 7 last week, I had the Rams, but this time it's going to be replaced with the Panthers. Though I did just say that they had some promise and looked pretty good. They didn't look that good, and I don't completely believe in them overall. They have a pretty easy division, but they had a divisional opponent, and they did lose to them, so they're going to be stuck at number 7. At number 6, I had the Bears, but I'm sorry. It's going to have to be the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, you don't get to keep one of the top spots having 4 turnovers from your star quarterback. The Bills played like hot doo-doo garbage. They had all the opportunities to beat the Jets, even with the atrocious turnovers. They went to overtime and then 3 and out, and then on the punt return, you let them just slip by you. That's unacceptable. I'm sorry, Bills fans. You're gonna be down on the list at number 6. But don't worry, because number 5 is the Bengals. And yeah, you know what? I put the Bengals above the Bills because I'm a bit of a homer. That's fine with me. The Bengals looked like hot doo-doo garbage. The only reason I really put them above the Bills is we didn't have atrocious turnovers. We recovered some turnovers. We didn't do anything with them. Jeepers. The only good attempts at any points we had was 2 attempted kicks and we made 1 of them. Joe Burrow, for the first time ever, didn't even have 100 yards. Kudos to the Browns, though. Their defense looked bad, as in good. Their defense looked great. They stopped us. It often happens in Cleveland. I don't know what it is about that team, that stadium, and the Bengals and them. Heartbreaking. But the Bengals will have to be at number 5 because of it. At number 4, before I had the Jaguars. This time, I have the Rams. That's right, Bills and Bengals. The Rams are ahead of you. Because that's how bad the Bengals and Bills looked. The Rams didn't look that great. I mean, they won. I guess they looked okay. But shit, they should not be above the Bills and Bengals. But they are. So there you go. At number 3, you have the Jags. I think they're going to be a really good team this year. I think they kind of showed that. Trevor Lawrence is looking decent. I didn't have that much time to review all the games here, so that's one of the ones I didn't really get to really look into highlights in that. So I didn't see too much, but they did win. It was important. I think the Jaguars that are bad are of the past now. I'd look out for them. They're going to be at number 3. At number 2, we're going to have the Lions. Now, last week, number 2 was the Bills and number 1 was the Bengals. We already talked about them. The Lions went in and beat the Chiefs. I mean, they looked great. That was an exciting football game. I mean, to go into Arrowhead and do that to the Chiefs, cheers to you guys, Lions. Dare I say it, they're a scary team. Number 2 for the Lions. And at number 1, I'm going to have the Dolphins. I was tempted to put the Lions at number 1, but I think the Dolphins are a better team. They had a high... Yeah, maybe I should have the Lions here, but too late. We're going to keep the Dolphins at number 1. They were playing the Chargers. That was a close game. That was a gritty game. There's all the conversation about Herbert and Tua. They're both good. I think Herbert's a little overrated by a lot of people, but I also think that Tua can be a little underrated, which kind of, they're pretty even in talent. The Dolphins, though, their defense is good. I think that they're going to continue to get better throughout the season as long as they can all stay healthy. But that's such a weird thing to say when you talk about football. As long as they stay healthy, that's every team. I should probably stop saying that. But all of us football people say it. I think it might be contractually like an obligation that we say as long as they stay healthy to any team that we want to comp out in case they don't do well. Anyways, Dolphins at number 1. We're going to have the working class humans next. Oh, yeah. Working class. Bringing it in at number 8, I had the Saints last week. Yeah. You know it. It's the Giants this week. Dude, I'm not even going to say anything. It's the Giants. You know why. You know why. Number 7, I'm going to have the Steelers. Yeah, they looked like hot doo-doo garbage too. Friggin' told you so. I don't know why everybody was so high on them. They're still rebuilding. I really do think that they're going to be a much better team in a few years. They're going to build. Tomlin's no joke of a coach, but this is not their year. They looked really bad against the 49ers. Though the 49ers are a really good team, they should have done a lot better. So, yep, they're going to be number 7. I wanted to put them at number 8, but I mean, the Giants. So, yeah, number 7 Steelers. Then we're going to have the Texans. Again, game I didn't really get to watch too many highlights from, but what I did see looked impressive. I'm not high on them as a team, so they're going to sit there at number 6 for the working class. At number 5, we had a pure flip-flop. I had the Giants here last week, and the Saints were last. Well, I'm going to have the Saints here this week. Yeah, the Saints won. So if you win, you're going to have to get higher on a week 2 power ranking. I mean, that's kind of important. The Giants got spanked. The Saints got a good win. Them and the Falcons now in their division both have wins, and a division like that, that's going to be really important. So, yeah, I'm going to put them there. After the Saints, I'm going to have the Packers. The Packers went in to see the Bears and had a dominant win. Jordan Love looked great. The whole team looked great. I think that a lot of concerns that a lot of people had were at least slightly lifted away after that. They do still own the Bears, as it turns out. So I'll keep them at number 4 for now. I think they earned that spot. I was going to put the Browns lower than the Packers, but they get number 3 because I need to put my inner homer aside because they held the Bengals back hard. Under 100 passing yards for Burrow. I mean, ugh. So yeah, the Browns are going to get the number 3 spot here. I don't think their offense is all that good. Nick Chubb looked awesome, but as far as the passing game in that, I don't think Deshaun looked as good as he should for what he's being paid and what the expectations in Cleveland are for him. So they're going to stay at number 3, but man, they did earn the number 3 spot. For our number 2 and number 1 spot, there was another flip-flop. At number 2, I'm going to have the Cowboys. They absolutely spanked the Giants, but the Giants also looked like hot doo-doo garbage. So they still get the number 2 spot. I mean, they did absolutely awesome. But I think I'm going to have to give the 49ers the number 1 spot. The 49ers just looked better than the Cowboys given opponent. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know now. Now I'm doubting myself. I don't know. Well, it's already written. 49ers get the number 1 spot here. I'm higher on the 49ers than I am on the Cowboys for sure. Again, I think the Cowboys had the easier path to winning, even though the Steelers did look really bad. But the 49ers were also very dominant. They came out hard. We kind of expected that, I think, as a whole. They did extremely well last year. They definitely earned the number 1 spot, but I will admit it was a close decision between the Cowboys and the 49ers for the number 1 spot of the working class humans. Next up, we're going to have the warrior class humans. And trailing at number 8, that's right, you're going to have the Titans. Tannehill didn't look good. They didn't look good. Maybe they are the Titans of the past. Where did I have them last week? I had them all the way at number 3 to start the year, but yeah, that was definitely too high. That was too high. I take it back. They're at number 8. Next up, last week had the Raiders at 7, but this week we're going to have the Pats. I just do not believe in the Pats. I do not believe in Mac Jones. Belichick is a great coach, so I don't know. Somebody had to go in the number 7 spot, so we're going to put the Patriots there. Last week where I had the Commies at number 6, we're going to have the Vikings. They were kind of a fraudulent team last year, even though they looked good until the playoffs. I don't think they're going to have a chance to look fraudulent this year. Yeah, they're going to be at number 6. And moving up a spot this week, you got the Commies. They won. That's all. That's all it took for them to get the spot. They moved up a spot because they won. Good job. Good job, Commanders. Next, we're going to have the Raiders. They had to beat up a Broncos team that hasn't looked good in a while. Yep, Raiders get the number 5 spot. At the number 3 spot, the Buccaneers. I talked a lot of trash about their division, including earlier in this video, yet 3 of those teams won. And the only one that lost was a divisional opponent. So somebody had to lose. Maybe the South is better than we thought. Oh, shit. Anyways, Bucs at number 3. In the number 2 spot, I'm going to let the Chefs keep it. Unlike the Bengals and Bills, the Chefs didn't look like complete garbage. They played a team that actually played well on both sides of the ball. And I still think they're an explosive team. So I'm going to keep them in the number 2 spot as much as it makes me sick. They're not going to let that keep happening. There's no way. So they're going to be at the number 2 spot for the Warrior Class Humans. I put the Chargers at number 1. I definitely didn't mean to do that. Oh, man. Oh, it's too late. The list is made. I guess Chargers are number 1. I have no rationale for them being number 1. They lost. It was a good game that they lost in, but they lost because the Chiefs lost too. Yeah, Bucs, Raiders, and Commies are the only ones that won in the Warrior Class Humans. Well, I guess the Chargers are number 1 for the Warrior Class Humans. Let's see how that pans out. Well, folks, this has been our Week 2 NFL Power Rankings by division. The Birds and Horses, the Mammals, the Working Class Humans, and of course, the Warrior Class Humans. These are probably complete garbage, but I'm glad you stuck around to watch them. Thanks. Make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button, and we will see you next week. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Pow, 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 pow. When you hurt your finger, everything's finger guns. You just give a thumbs up, finger guns. It's the best excuse to have finger guns ever.